This video will be tips on using the Crafter's Companion Gemini August autoship for the dimensional dies, and in this case it is the butterfly collection. These just came out and I will be doing a tip video. Stay tuned. Some things that I want to discuss and show you. I did some pre-cutting and stamping earlier, and then I'll show you how to do the 3D thing. First thing I'm going to talk about is this die here. So in the coordinating die set, you do not have a stamp for this, but I wanted to show you that this die here, like I said, I hope it's light enough and everything. This die here is actually an edgeable die. So if you were thinking that it would cut the bottom edge, it doesn't. So I cut that out to show you. So when you cut it, you get this edge, but notice that the bottom doesn't cut. Even on this one, you could see that there was even an embossing line from where the die actually was, okay? Now, if you got the Create a Scene cards from Crafter's Companion, this is not the 5.5 length that you need. But if you cut your paper 5.5 and put this in there, you can use that in that die set as well. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to show you in this die set. The next thing I wanted to show you is in relation to these two die pieces here, okay, and the stamp sets. Okay, so let me show you. When you stamp out the butterfly, now I did both of them, but when you stamp out the butterfly, this is what it looks like, at least one of them. Okay, which would be this one that you can see down here. So it looks like this. Now mine is on brown paper because I'm doing a steampunk project. So I use the Spectrum Noir inks to stamp it. Okay, so this is what you get when you stamp it out. Works well, fine, no big deal. Now, since this is the coordinating die set, it's supposed to cut out this stamp and this stamp, right? But I want to show you what happens if you use just these two to cut out this butterfly. So let me take them off this here. What you're supposed to be able to do is turn the die over. Now obviously you have to line them up the right way, but you put it around the die or the stamp, right? And then run it through your machine. Well, first off, you would notice that it doesn't cut the antenna and it doesn't cut the body. So this would cut the edge so you could have a free edge here. It would cut the edge so you could have a free edge here. Now let me show you what happens if you use it to cut the stamp out. You put it like that, line it up, run it through your machine. This is what happens. This is what you get. So notice it did not cut out the entire stamp. Okay? So if you use those two to try to cut out the stamp, you have to actually do some fussy cutting to get that out. Okay? So I just wanted to show you that in case you just thought that you could use those two dies to directly cut out the stamp. What you have to do, let me put these back. In actuality, to get the whole stamp to cut out like this, you actually have to use this die, which is the worker die. So if you look at this, let me show you this way. You have to put this whole die down, line it up, run it through, and then it will cut this piece, but you have to trim the bottom out. Okay, so I just wanted to show you those two things in order to get this stamp to cut out fully, which you would not think that you had to do that, but that's what you have to do. Okay, so that's how the stamp works in that case. All right, since I have this out, let's go ahead and talk about this die set. You actually have 3 pieces. You have this cut-in die here, the outline die, and the cut-in die here. So let me show you how you can use these. These dies do not have cutting edges. So if you take this die, and I've already done the cutting, put it on your card. This one's actually this one. Put it on your card. It will cut into the card. Okay. You can use this on your Gemini Junior if you take, because this is 5x7, if you take it and wrap it around thing. Okay. Same thing with the other die. This one here cuts in like that. I love those decorations. That's so pretty. Okay. So pretty. Now, let's go back to the other die. If you want to cut out this whole piece, you can use these dies to do that. Because notice these pieces here don't have the antenna. Okay? So if you put this on there, it's going to cut that out. Does that make sense? You might have to do a little trimming there where the body piece is, but other than that, you can cut it out that way. Okay? So hopefully that helps with this. Now, I want to go through and show you some options for using the part that is supposed to be the 3D part. Okay, so 1, you could cut it out solidly, trim these pieces off, and then you'd have a solid butterfly with antenna. Okay, you can put these pieces together, put it like that. Now, if you're running this through your machine, you definitely want to tape it down, okay? Because you don't want your die crossing each other. So if you do this, like that, you will get one that looks like this. Okay? Now, I'll show you what it looks like as soon as you cut it in the paper. So, you use these 2 pieces, lay it down. This is what your paper looks like originally, okay? Trim this piece off here, trim that piece off there, trim the bottom, trim that bottom. You end up with this, okay? Notice your antenna are still there. You got all the decorative pieces, okay? But notice if you don't trim the bottom, you actually now have an edgeable die. So you would have a butterfly, that's an edgeable. And all you would have to do, so it looks right, is trim off these little bits. Look at that. And now you have an edgeable. So if you cut this piece long enough, you could use it in your, you know, over the edge of a card. You could use it in the scene, the create a scene card dies. So I thought I would tell you that because I don't think it's originally designed to do that either, but you can do that.